Hey guys, today I want to talk about the natural evolution of a designer. So this is an interesting thing because I have now been teaching designers for not quite 2 years in my current program. Of course, I've taught designers in a university setting. I taught a little bit about 12 years ago before I started my design business and really dug into it. And it really was very interesting to go from owning a design business to then teaching design and then going, what's the next thing? And it's still the beginning of the year, so I thought I would talk about that a little bit because when I talk about the next thing, I'm not talking about the next thing for me. I'm talking about the next thing for my designers. And that's because we're really focused on what the next steps are for our designers. We are definitely not that course or program where you come in, you learn some stuff, you hope to get a little bit better at Illustrator, and then you walk away and you're like, okay, and now what? We're definitely not that program. Our goal is to produce ridiculously good designers. And we know how long it takes because I've been a university professor. I understand the evolution of what that looks like. And so I'm very realistic, if you've been hanging out with me on this podcast, about what that evolution looks like. So as I was kind of moving along, and now that will be 2 years old in April, figuring out what our designers need next, especially the ones that are getting so good, making lots of money. We've got lots of designers making good money at this point, going, okay, what's next? Well, one of the things I think I talk about is that I am getting a ridiculous amount of freelance work. I mean, I think this is one of the interesting things about actually owning a design business, actually being a designer in this industry versus just being a teacher, okay? And there are lots of people who have focused on the teaching part of their businesses, and I just really haven't felt very comfortable with that. I feel like one of the powers of my program is that I am a working designer, and I have been a working creative director, but it makes it hard because I have to split my time. We actually have a lot of people in our program. People don't realize how big the program is, and I always want to make sure and have touch points with the members to make sure they are still designing well and that they're doing good in the program. And one of the things that has come up over and over again is as I have gotten more jobs and more people asking for freelance, the more I've handed it over to my design suite members. And it has been such a treat to watch my designers getting paid for projects that people are like, oh my gosh, like they got deals, they got projects that they wouldn't have known about. That's that whole, if you've taken my free training, that inside scoop, that really only happens within networks. Like, I'm not gonna hand a freelance job or even a long-term job to someone outside of my program. It's gonna happen inside of my program because I know the designers, I see their work, and if you're a design suite member and you're listening to this and you haven't submitted recently to a mentor meeting, the more you submit, the more I see your work, the easier it is for me to identify which freelance project is better for which designer. So there's a hint for those of you who haven't turned anything in for a little while. So one of the things that has happened is I'm consistently delving out work to all these different designers because they were in the right place, they had the right opportunities, and it's been awesome. So I'm gonna make this announcement, even though it's super scary, that in this year, we believe in the fall of this year, we will be opening up Design Suite Agency along with certification. So right now, we have given our Design Suite members, they actually have access to Design Suite Agency, but starting in the fall, we will be moving Design Suite Agency will be a piece of the certification program that we'll be coming out with. Now, why are we doing this? Because you guys know I talk about 4 years in graphic design school is how we get there, right? My program is a year long, and we squish you like through the program, get you as much information, get you as much experience. It's not just about education, it's about experience as possible. And what I think I'm starting to see is that if we can provide, and we certainly can, a lot of freelance work, what we would like to do is see our designers become certified and then have the opportunity to come into our design agency. And this is so exciting for us because to me, that's the natural evolution of a good design business in a lot of ways. It's at least in my business, okay? I mean, could I go on to teach other creative business owners? Yeah, I could. I've run a lot of businesses, physical product businesses, been the creative director of a couple of businesses. I think that, yes, I could go on to teach more, but my heart's not in just teaching. My heart is in doing. And what I find is that those that can't do, they teach. And so what I want for you is to become a great designer, not someone who teaches just design, which if you do teach some design, and I do teach my designers to teach especially their own specialties because I think it's really important and good. But if I had it my way, I would be a creative director all the time and running my design business. And so I see that evolution happening in my business, especially as we are producing better and better designers, which is so exciting to me. If you're one of my designers and you're listening to this, you guys know you have access to Design Suite Agency. We're only putting a few things in it right now, and that we're going to start that process up in the fall. And we're just so excited for what you can do and what I can help you do. And a lot of that comes with, I'm pretty particular in that, if my name is going to be on someone's certification, that they are a qualified designer. It's been a wrestle because we've been talking about certification now for well over a year in our program, trying to decide whether we're going to do it, whether we are going to approve of it, and how strenuous that process is going to be. And I knew that it had to be powerful enough that when people saw that certification, they would know that that designer was extremely qualified to do the kind of work that needed to be done. That not only could they show their own style, but they could help build someone else's logo, that they could help someone else build all of their imagery, and that it would be fantastic, okay? So I really, to me, this was the natural evolution of where we are headed in Design Suite. I'm so excited for what we're going to be able to really bring to the table here in the next year. You're going to see lots of cool changes that we're doing, and we are doing it for the betterment of our current designers. We aren't just looking for new designers. Of course, we love bringing in new designers into our program, but once you're in our program, and I think those of you who are in Design Suite know this, we are putting a lot into you. And it's because we want you to be fantastic designers who actually make money. The thing that I heard over and over again when I started this program is that all of these designers had taken multiple courses, different things out there, and they just kept saying to me, but Carina, something was missing. And the thing that was missing is in design, when you own a design business, we also have to learn business. We have to learn design business. And our design businesses look different than regular businesses. And because of that, no one was teaching that because very few teachers actually own design businesses or are currently pushing their own design business. I knew that we could take it to the next level. We could do some amazing things because we're actually teaching people how to sell and how to make money, which I think is the most important part of a design business, because if you aren't doing that, you have a hobby. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you are excited for all the upcoming stuff. It's scary to announce it now because it's so early in the year, and we know it won't be rolling out till end of fall, so halfway through the year. But I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of really what a good evolution of a good design program really ought to look like, and where we can take it, because it should be about you. Design, becoming a great designer, should be about you. And I cannot wait to see what you can make, how big you can stretch, how amazing you can become. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.